and I hope yesterday was fruitful. If it wasn't, well, let's try again today. That's how life is. Today works out, tomorrow may not, but the next day will. But I hope you're fine. As long as you have health, that's what they normally tell us. Obulamu bugagga. As long as you have health. So today I'm leaving home late. That's why I had to do the broadcast from home. I'm actually still packed at home. Yeah, but I could not miss my broadcast. And yeah, I had thought that we would actually leave early, yeah, because my people are in holiday. So, um, and yet, so I have to go with them. Good morning, Nathan. So, from wherever you're watching from, good morning, Martha. Good morning, Kenneth. Yeah, I'm sure you're wondering. Uh, I'm sure you're wondering what my topic is actually talking about. It's not like the usual topics. Yeah. So yesterday I had a number of interesting conversations, and yeah, you'll forgive the ring. That's how I get my light. Let me see if there is a way I can do it and not get the ring in my face, in my glasses. Let me see. I think that's better. So so yesterday I had very interesting conversations. I have to thank you guys first of all. Thank you very much for always recommending me for business. Yesterday, I dealt with a gentleman that I have never met, a gentleman that doesn't even know that this YouTube channel exists, but he trusted me because someone recommended me to him and he told him that I could be trusted. Thank you very much, guys, for recommending me for business. That really means a lot. And and I want to promise you that, trust me, I can't disappoint you. And yeah, yesterday I had two people to help buy cars. I merely helped one, and the one that got a car is definitely not watching this channel because he doesn't even know the channel, what the channel is called, where it exists from. It's a friend of his that told him about this man from YouTube that could be trusted. And thank you very much. I don't even know the person that recommended me because I probably have never spoken to him. He never even comments on content here. Um, but he recommended and said, okay, you go trust this guy. Yeah, I would like to first of all thank you so much. For recommending me. Yesterday, very early in the morning, the first thing I did was install a tracking device, and I installed a tracking device for one of my followers here, and I'd like to thank him if he's watching. Normally, I realize most people, especially the ones in Uganda, they watch in transit as they drive to work. That's when they be watching my content, and so this follower of mine, I've so far installed two tracking devices for him. Yeah, and we had a very interesting conversation, and he told me he agrees with most of the things that I talk about on this channel during my broadcasts and in my videos. And he said he disagrees with one particular thing. He disagrees with the fact that I say that the moment if you buy a car from the bond, the moment you drive it out, it loses value. And through our conversation, then I realized that he's actually right, because when he buys his cars, he buys his cars with motive. You know, if you go to the market to buy to buy bread with it in your mind that you're going to resell, you make sure to get a good deal. You make sure to buy at wholesale price, and that's exactly what he does when he buys his cars, and which is exactly what I explained to him. But majority of our people that buy cars from the bond, they don't buy with intention to resell, and that's how they get bad deals. Good morning, Da Vinci. You get, so I explained that to him. That's how they get bad deals. Now, later on, then I go to the market to help these people get cars, and you know the various experiences I had during the day are what led to this video today. And this probably we will learn stuff from each other. I want you guys to teach me something, and then probably my experiences will teach you something. So I go to the field. For starters, the person that got a car yesterday called me yesterday night in a hurry, and he told me, hello, is this Arthur? Yeah. So a friend of mine has given me your number that you can help me get a good car. And I said, yes. Yeah, it's not shining actually. It's drizzling. It's not raining. It's drizzling. So, and I told him, yes, I can help you. And he said, good. So can you come and help me check out the cars that I want to buy? And I say, okay, yeah, I can. Good morning, Patrick. And so in the morning after installing the tracking device, I call him up and I call these two people, and yeah, I end up going to this first person first. He was in Machindi. Guys, I want you to listen to this story. So he was in Machindi, one of the bonds in Machindi. So he came from what I know, he came from up country to buy a car and then go back. And so what happened was that we went to Machindi. I went with the mechanic, and we get to these cars that, of course, he had 3 options in Machindi of cars. And when we get to the cars, one of the cars was already had starting issues. It wasn't starting properly. And then you know how brokers can be. They say, ekigitawanya kitono nnyo. Agule bakikoleko biki. And I told him, let's leave that car. I told him it was a Subaru. It was totally overpriced. And I knew that if it were buying a Subaru, he could get a much better Subaru at the price they were giving it to him. But then even he had starting issues. And I told him that's a red flag right there. And we left that. And then we looked at like 2 other RAV4s. And they were also ridiculously priced. And of course, when we went to him, in his mind, he said, okay, Arthur, I don't have time. I'm tired. I want to buy a car from this bond and I go home. Now, normally when a client tells you something like that, you are torn between choosing the best of the cars that are in that place and making sure he gets a good deal. Now, both those cars, of course, one had a very bad engine and it was ridiculously overpriced. Okay, it looked okay on the body. The interior was washed. The engine was washed itself. You know how those Bond guys do, the old car bonds. Boza, they wash. So we go to this other second car, which was a RAV4 new model. And that was not bad. Okay, of course, the price was too high. And we made it clear that, you know, there are cars. What we know is cars that would know that, okay, today this man today has not serviced me because he is expecting some money. And the RAV4 new models, they don't know that. You need to service it every time, and you need to service it properly. You need to service everything. If you're going to do service, like cars like mine, you can do the oil change and oil filter and get done. But with the RAV4 new model, it has a Voxy engine. The engine that is the newer Voxy. And I'm sure you guys already know what happens with the newer Voxys. They have a lot of complications. And it's very hard to find someone that has had a newer Voxy and had a very good story with it. So you have to change almost everything every time you service. And those cars have a problem with overheating. So we explained this to him. And for me, normally my goal is to give a person that I'm helping to get them a very good deal. Now, all these cars, they had told him 15 million. Now, the moment we reached the bond, these guys, they saw my mechanic and they pulled him aside and they took in a sente. These guys had even bought my people soda. They knew the deal was done, because when he went to the bond, he told them, "Wait, I want to buy a car and go home. I don't want a lot of choose me the best cars." You get. And so they were telling my mechanic, but you know, normally we are honest. And I told my mechanic, you call some of the brokers, and you see if they have a good RAV4 at a reasonable price. Because this RAV4 they were giving this guy at, I think they had settled at 13 million. It had a bad engine. It had no tires. So you need to replace an engine, okay? And yet you're buying a car at 13 million. It means you're already going to buy a car 13, add 2 million, then 15, add a 1 million of tires, that's 16. And then you don't already know these other repairs, because those cars in the bonds, they're deep inside there, so you cannot even drive it out. So that's to mention the other repairs that we can't know of at that moment. So it means that car which we're going to buy at 13 will end up in 16. You get? That's if it has no other repairs. And for me, it wasn't good math. You see, the title of this video is Trust Me. It's in my best interest for you to be happy. Do you know why? When I started this channel, I'm a marketing person. So when I started this channel, I did not start this channel to simply make money this year. You see, when you give me 350 to help you select a car, these are the things you're paying for. You're paying for fuel to drive around seeing so many different cars, okay? You're paying for a mechanic because I pay that mechanic every time I'm with him, okay? And you're paying my allowance to also be there. So, and you're paying for airtime and data, because when we make calls, sometimes we tell people, so you get, we are not brokers, so we don't know where the cars are. But we know a network of brokers that know where cars are, okay? So those are the things you're paying for when you pay me the 350,000. And sometimes you realize my car was a full tank yesterday. As we speak now, it's at a little less than 3/4. Why? We drove all that fuel going around trying to see things, how to get to the customers, then how to get the cars. One thing I realized yesterday is, okay, our country has degenerated to a point that it's hard to trust anyone. Okay, it's hard to trust anyone. So this customer of mine kept saying, Arthur, good morning, Clip. This customer of mine kept saying, Arthur, I'm trusting you. And I told him, trust me, I'm going to make the best decision. Now, remember, I started the story telling you the person I installed a tracking device for, telling me that for him, he always resells his cars at a profit. And I told him the reason why you sell your cars at a profit is because you buy with the intention of reselling. Like, you have it in mind that, okay, what if the time comes for me to resell? And normally when I'm helping my people buy cars, in my mind, I have it that, okay, this person is going to get to a time and he will want to sell this car. He should get good money out of it. Okay? For me, that's what is in my mind. So normally, even when my mechanic says to Jigure, for me, in my mind, it's, okay, when it comes for time for this guy to sell this car or this lady to sell this car, will they get their money out of it? Okay? And if you won't get your money out of it, normally I don't recommend you buy. Okay? And that's why when we went to that bond, we told this person, Omanyi, let's look at other cars. I know you badly wanted to buy cars from here. And it's very easy for me to say, you buy, because I'm going to take a mafuta for you to go see other cars. So again, I'm not going to give myself trouble. And I actually told him, you know what? I even have another person waiting for me to select a car for him. But it will not settle down with me properly if you don't get a good deal. So I told him, you know what? He had another friend of his, but the other friend of his had a Bajaj. So I told him, because I'm going to see the other person, he has another person coming with him, and I have a mechanic. The car is a 4-seater. So you tell your friend to follow us on his Judge. We go check out this other car. Now, this other RAV4 we are checking out belonged to a lady. And the lady didn't actually expect to sell that quick. She didn't have money to top up to get another car. But things were moving so fast because a RAV4 is kind of a hot cake now. So we drive from Machindie, we go to Boyogere. Deep down in there, we actually found her deep down there inside. I think she was parked at her garage. And we look at the car. The car was intact. The body was intact. The interior was intact. And it had also the engine problem. But you know what was happening? I think the lady had started at 12 million. as well. But on bargaining, good morning, Rich, she stopped at 9 million because she had to pay brokers as well. I think she gave the brokers over 200,000. She gave the brokers 200,000. And for me, that was the car. Do you know why? Let me do the math for you. When I'm helping someone buy a car, for me in my mind is, will this person get their money out of this car when it comes to time to resell? So this is the math I did. If this lady was selling us a car at 9 million, okay, this is the math. If the engine had trouble, for us we had settled we are not going to overhaul an engine. We are going to buy, and actually the engine trouble that was in there, he could drive the car the way it is. And I told him, don't tamper with the engine. If you don't want to change the engine now, just drive the car the way it is. But this is the math I made for him. If you wanted to change, to make the car almost new, because the body was new, the interior was new, this car was intact. Apart from the engine, it had nothing to repair. Of course, it had a boot shaking. You know, RAV4s have that issue because they have the spare tire mounted on the boot. And normally, if you buy a RAV4, you put the tire off the boot because normally the tire is the reason why the boot is making noise. So this is the math we did for him. New engine at 2 million for the RAV4. New engine. Japan, new engine. We take this old engine out, we put it aside, we get a new engine, put it in the car. Lock it up, you drive away with the car with a new engine. Then, repairing the boot, we calculated 100,000 just to make the boot silent. Okay, and and then we calculated that it had to get AC repaired because this lady wasn't using AC. She lives in town. You get, and then we realized the speed meter was not working. Also 100,000. Those were the only repairs that were going to be done on that car. And the tires, 1 million. 4 tires. Okay, so 9 million plus 2, that's 11. Plus the tire, that's 12. Okay, plus the 200,000, that's 12 million 200,000. Okay, plus the 180,000 for transfer of the car to his names. Okay, so he was going to spend about 3,400,000. Yeah, 12,400,000, and the car would be new with a new engine, okay, in his names, with new tires. Remember, they were giving him a car at 13 million with no tires, with a bad engine. And trust me, when he puts that engine in there, he has not, because he's driving his car now. When he puts that engine in that car, the value will shoot up to like 15 million. The value will shoot up to 15 million. Now, for me, that's the deal. When we were there, he had his brother, the one that had a judge. Now, I'm telling you this, so I want you to listen very carefully. For the guys that have driven motorcycles, especially Bajaj Boxers, you know that if you wanted to buy a new engine for the Bajaj Boxer, they are fake engines and original engines. You know that, guys, right? If you don't know now, I'm telling you. If you're going to buy a new engine for a Bajaj Boxer, they are fake engines and they are original engines, which are the best engines for you to buy for your Bajaj. But the fake engines are cheap and the original engines are expensive. So this brother of his that drives a Bajaj was giving him this logic. These guys are calculating for you to change an engine. What if they put for you a fake engine? And I kept insisting to this guy that, you know what? There are no fake engines with cars. They are no fake engines. Because, guys, a Moro Katezina engine is really fake. You go and buy an original engine from Japan. Actually, if you want, you can send for the engine yourself. But Chiseka Market, Ndeba, those places are full of engines that they bring. And actually, that's the engine I'm going to put in my car. I'm actually now thinking, oh, I should import my own engine. But the problem of you importing your own engine, if it has a problem, you have nowhere to return it to. But if you buy an engine from here, if it has a problem, you give it back, they give you another engine. So that's the other trouble we had. That, okay, it's a very good thing for you to trust your brother. Okay? And the brother told him, buy his a fake engine. And I told him, don't worry. There are no fake engines with cars. And actually, the guy changed his mind. He liked the car, but the possibility of us getting a fake engine made him change his mind. And he said, Arthur, let's go and look for a car at 16 million. And I told him, if you're not happy with the car, let's go look for a car at 16 million. But along the way, I told him, what if you bought a car at 16 million and the engine blows when you're going to let's say you're going driving to Gulu and the car blows when you're in Ruero, what will happen if the engine dies? Or let's say, because the engine had a smoke, white smoke, what if you buy a car at 16 million? Because let me tell you guys what you people don't know. These guys that sell cars in bonds, they have additives they add in the engine. But you know what buy you they do service, put in the oil, they put an additive. When they add that additive in the engine, even if the engine is smoking, it will not smoke. It will only smoke after you do your own service. And by the time you do your own service, you've already bought the car. Watch together. So for me, my logic was if your issue is smoking of the engine, there is a possibility that you buy that car, 16 million, you buy that car 16 million, do service and it smokes. What do you do then? Smoking is normal. You get my car smokes sometimes. Okay? So for the guys that wanted the Toyota Allion, someone has just sent me a Toyota Allion. It's at 15 million. Toyota Allion. Someone wanted to buy a Toyota Allion. So if you wanted to buy a Toyota Allion, this is your time. It's at 15 million. That's the price they have told me. But we can bargain when we get there. So I was still telling you how these people in those bonds and the brokers do. So when you do service, then what will you do? So I told him, the advantage with this car is we are getting a good price. We are going to buy a new engine if you want. But if you don't want, you can drive this car for some time. Engine, because me, I've driven cars in that condition before, and they don't break down on the road. Okay? If you buy a new engine and put it, and I'm telling you, there are no fake engines. Okay? You're renewing it's like putting a new heart in your body. And then your value of your car will shoot to the roof. It's better than you buying a car because it's not smoking. And I actually asked him, if I bought a new engine and put it in that car, would you even know? And he said no. So what's the trouble with you actually going to the shop and looking at an engine? You can bring your own person. Wait, that engine is okay. That engine is not good. That engine is original. That one is fake. And that's when he changed his mind that, okay, let's go buy this car. And I called his brother and I sat him on this seat and I told him, you know what, man? This is how I calculate things when I'm helping people buy cars. I mean, when I'm helping you buy a car, I'm helping you buy a car at almost wholesale price. Like the way I would buy it. When I tell someone that I bought my car 5.5, they will not believe. Okay? Now, a car that I bought 5.5, the brokers can pay 8 million. You get, which means they buy it 8 million, they sell it 10 to 11 million. You get what I'm saying? Kati, when I'm helping you buy a car, I'm normally doing it to make sure that you buy your car at wholesale price, what we will call wholesale price, if there is wholesale in buying cars. That's what my other follower in the one when I tell them tracking advice was telling me, that for him, he never buys cars and sells at loss. Because for him, in his mind, he has it that, okay, I'm buying a car and I will come to a time and I want to sell. That's what most of our people don't understand, that when you're buying a car, don't just buy a car because you want it. Buy a car when you add math. Ntemoro kendo bwe natuuka okugitunda n'agitunda sente mmeka. Ontegeera. And that's the logic. Okitegeera. So, the other thing, we buy this car, and then, for me, when you're buying a car, I make sure that the transfer can be done. So we buy this car, it was in the name of a company. Okay? So we buy this car, and it was in the name of a bond, some Pakistani bond. So I tell the woman we have to drive to that bond to make sure that that guy will actually transfer the car to our names. And she says it's okay. So we by the way, we go to the bank with my buyer. He goes, we get some troubles in the bank. We spend like 2 to 3 hours trying to withdraw money. Finally, we withdraw the money, and then we go to this lady. And she's seated in the bond with the Pakistani guy. But the Pakistani guy, because we spent a lot of time in the bank, by the time we get to the bond, the Pakistani guy's office is closed. And the guy tells us, you know what? This lady needs to give you authorization that she has allowed that I transfer the car to your name. But you come tomorrow morning. Because he knew tomorrow morning the lady would be there getting another car from him. You get what I'm saying? The lady, after getting money from us, was coming back to the Pakistani guy to get a new car from him. So he told us, you come tomorrow morning. because she's going to be here getting another car. And I start the transfer process when she's here. If she's not here, if you don't come tomorrow, next time I'll tell you to come with her. You get what I'm saying? So today morning, the buyer that bought that car, he's going to that bond to transfer the car to his names. If he gets any trouble, then he'll call me. I'll also go there. You get what I'm saying? So normally I want you guys to trust me, because when I'm buying a car for you, or when I'm helping you buy a car, I'm working with your best interest. This channel has been built on trust. One mistake like this, and I lose a lot of hard work. That's why this broadcast has trust me. No, the Allion is 1.8 cc. You know, Rich, the Allion is the Primo. The only difference is the body design, but everything else is the Primo. The interior is the Primo new model. Okay, it's 1.8 VVTi. Yeah. So you guys, I'm asking that you really trust me. Okay. Now, after we buy this car, we even see the Pakistani guy that is going to transfer the car to my buyer's name. He gives us the conditions. So the guy drives home with his friends. Now, when he gets home, one of his friends tells him, "You have bought a stolen car. Where is the logbook?" You guys. So he calls me and I tell him, "You know what? I want you to trust me. If that car has any issue, don't worry. Me, I'll sort it out." But it doesn't have any issue. We already know. We saw the person that's going to transfer the car to his names. So the reason why these guys are telling him the car might be stolen is because it doesn't have a physical logbook. But remember, we don't need a physical logbook. We already have the logbook holder who is going to transfer to our names. The person that bought. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So we don't need a physical logbook. When this guy transfers, we can print out a logbook in the names of my buyer. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. And that was what is going to happen today morning. I'm praying that the next person that buys from me can learn to trust me. The second instance happened with the other second buyer. Normally, when you pay me the 350, and I've told you, you're paying for a mechanic, you're paying for my expertise as well. But the things that I cannot spot, my mechanic will spot. And I have a very fast mechanic. He spots things very fast. So we go to this other person wanted to buy. He has not yet bought. And I hope he's watching this broadcast, because it's important that he gets this message. Because then I called him and he did not pick my calls. He has not actually answered my calls up to now. And the reason why I first let him be is this. Guys, we all have friends that know about cars. We all have neighbors that know about cars. Okay? Now, this is what I'm telling you. If you have someone that knows about cars that will help you select a car, don't come to Arthur. Because you're going to make my life hard. Watch together. If you already know someone that can help you select a car properly, if you already know someone that can help you get a good car, tojawa Arthur. Tojawa Arthur. Because if you come with someone that you think knows a lot more about cars than me, ogenda kummenya. I'm saying this, he's saying this. I'm saying this, he's saying this. Let me tell you the one thing. This person came to buy a car with someone that he thought knew cars. Let me give you one example. We're going to buy a Mark II. It's knowledge globally that Mark IIs are 2000 cc. Now this person, the moment we opened the hood of this first Mark II we got to we open, the engine is Beams 2000 and I know engine in nene nyomu Mark II tuinafuna Mark II ya 10 mu rukaga. Guys, where have you ever seen a Mark II that has a 1.6 cc engine? You get it? So we tell this guy, all Mark IIs are 2000 cc. But this engine is a Beams 2000 engine. It's a VVTi engine. Whether it's 2000, it consumes okay. The guy said, Nedda, mugugolinge. Guys, how are you bringing someone to check for you a car and he's going to be using Google? Guys, oletoti omuntu okukeberera emotoka nga agenda kukozesa Google. Oyo omuntu abatamanyi byakebera. You need to go to check a car with people that know what they are checking. a person that will look at a car kugambe tojigula. Okitegeera? Actually, afterwards, when we told him this car, you're not going to find a Mark II that doesn't have a 2000cc engine. He said, okay. Then he got out a notebook and then he started noting, okay. Guys, how do you bring someone atamanyi byakebera ng'agenda kusooka kuwandiika then agende ku Google achekinge? Okitegeera? Oyo muntu aba agenda kukumalira obudde bungi. Then, actually, when I was seated with this other guy that was the one that bought a car, he asked me, Kakati Arthur, why has that other person paid you money when he has another person to check for him cars? Exactly, my guys. If you have someone to check a car for you, don't come to Arthur. You go with that person to the market and check your cars. Mukitegeera bannange. Nze bw'ojeewa Arthur, you're paying for Arthur to work in your interest because mechanic ayinza okukulyamu olukwe, Arthur tajja kukulyamu olukwe. Arthur has something to lose. Okitegeera? You're paying for two people. Ntuula wano, makanika wange n'atuula wano. And for the guys that have bought cars with me, you realize I don't even know where these cars are. It's mostly the mechanic that knows where the cars are. But do you know why the mechanic will not cheat you? Because I'm always looking on him. Atenze, I know the value of those cars. Era bwe bongeramu sente nja kumanya. And let me tell you one thing. Sometimes brokers will add money. Naye nga ne sente ze bongeddemu kikyali in a fair deal. That's why sometimes nze manya nti babroker bongeddemu ne nkugamba tuzireke. It's still a good deal. Okitegeera? So this guy came with a person to help him check alongside me nga tangambye. Do you know what that means? That means you don't trust me. People, if you don't trust me, don't come to me. If you can't trust me to check a car properly for you, don't come to me. The reason why you're paying 350,000 to me is because you're trusting me. Actually, this person yaze n'omuntu nga tebaagala na kusasula sente. And I told him, guys, if you don't want to pay the money now before we start, don't pay. Let's not check cars. So this other guy gwe yaze naye namugamba, nze mbadde manyi tumusasula tumaze funa mmoroka. And I told him, guys, I'm not a broker. I don't even know where these cars are. We are going to see these cars one by one. Ngamwe bwe mugiraba ogusooka na ngenda giraba ogusooka. Njikebere nammwe. Mbabulire yogula eyo togula. We were in Nakawa. You know Nakawa is full of cars. And we saw the first car. My mechanic told me, ate emoroka ya 4-wheel tetujigula. And I told him, tetumujitunula nako. For them, they had already liked the car. And I told him, emoroka mujive kote mukorachi. Now, let me tell you someone that is not honest. Someone that doesn't work in your interest. I'll take you back to Machindi, the first buyer. That first buyer told me point blank, Arthur, I want to get a car from here. I don't want to go anywhere else. Njagala gula wane moroka. But for me, because I work in his interest, he has paid me his hard-earned money. It's in my interest also to make sure that you save money. It doesn't make sense for me to say, okay, guleno because it's nice, or jigule 16 million. Ngagobo ono tuko jitu nogenda jitu na 12. Ontegeera kyemba gamba. Anyone else that doesn't work in your interest will get excited akambe guleyo. And let me tell you, my mechanic baba de bamutadde da side in Machindi bamugambe yisawo omulimu tugenda kuwa sente. Let me tell you one thing. What we are trying to build here, especially me, the brand I'm trying to build is a brand that is going to be bigger than me. Guys, I told you nasoma marketing. Bwe menkola ebintu bino, nze situnulira buno obusente obw'okumpi. And I told the person that bought a RAV, I want you to buy this car, but I want through you to send me like 10 other people. Guys, the brand I'm building is the Top Gear kind of brand. You know Top Gear, guys, abaraba ku BBC. Top Gear. Nti Toyota brings a new car in the country in Uganda and they say, which person do we want to promote this car? Ngabaita Arthur. That's the kind of brand. Nga Arthur kola video yabamwe milioni 15. You guys, I'm trying to build a Top Gear kind of brand. It's a long shot, I know. It's a long shot. But with the trust of the people, guys, there is nothing that beats network. A network is... Yeah, that's thunder. Sorry, I was listening to the thunder. Networks are very important. With this channel, I'm not only selling, helping you buy cars. I'm making friends. I realized there are offices I go to install tracking devices. Then I need this contact, is very important. Then I meet doctors. Then I know I know someone that I can call at night when I have a complication and I can't get help. I know someone I can call for first aid. I know someone I can call when we need this. I know we are creating friendships, guys. So kyemba mumanya bojewa athanga teto mwesiga no muletirako omuntu okebera kale if you have decided to bring someone to check a car for you, bring someone that knows what they are doing. But majority of the time the reason why you people pay me is because you don't know anyone that knows. Na ye ate obuzibu oleeta omuntu atamanyi byakebera kale leeta omuntu ng'alina byamanyi ku mmoroka ng'amanyi. You bring a mechanic, no problem. You bring a mechanic. Okitegeera. But guys, if you already have a mechanic that can check a car for you, why are you bringing in Arthur? Go when you're spending your money, which is not good for you. You instead of giving Arthur 350,000, you get 200,000 and give it to that mechanic. Let's go check for a car. Now me, I'm giving you solutions. Why I'm giving you this is because I'm working in your best interest. When you have actually you're having three parties, because in the mechanical wanga ategerera mechanics naye ate tantegerera. So nze naye sometimes we disagree. Kati ate tuletemu omuntu wokusatu, you're going to waste a lot of your time. Okitegeera. Kati my advice normally for people that don't trust Arthur, if you have a mechanic kuchalo, or you have your uncle, or you have your brother that can check your car properly better than me, go with that person to the market. Arthur muleke. You get what I'm saying? About if we look for cars in Enkulemerera, like there is a person and I totally failed to get him a car because he wasn't decisive. And I told him, if you want me to look for a car again for you, you're going to pay again. Because we had looked for a car for so many days. We saw so many good deals that I knew are good deals. And the guy wasn't deciding, okay? And later on, he asked me for my mechanic's number. I gave it to him. I told him you can look with that mechanic, okay? But even up to today, that's like 2 weeks ago, he has not, I think it's even 3 weeks. 3 weeks ago, he has not found a car. And my mechanic told me I keep sending him cars, good deals, and he keeps saying, let me think about it. So there are people, asobola okujjanga, they probably ayagala kuwa emitwalo 35 ozinywemu amafuta ziggwewo. That's why I'm limiting my searches to 2 days. 2 days. You pay 350, maximum is 2 days. Because I'm not going to be paying my mechanic 100,000 every day. And then we go 4 days nga tukyano ya moroka. And then they even start telling him, omanyi sente zaaweddewo, omanyi sente ze batuwadde zaaweddewo. Okitegeera. Actually, I think my mechanic asked him for over 100, over 120, over 150. Because that's how much I pay my mechanic to come with me to look for cars. Because, guys, let me tell you this. It doesn't take me more than a day to find you a good car if you have the right price. That's why when someone tells me, Arthur, I want you to help me select a car, I ask him which car. Then you tell me, I want to buy a Primo. And I ask you, how much is your budget? And you tell me, and I tell you, you can't get that car at that budget. And then you ask me, which car can I get? And I tell you the cars you can get at that budget. So that you know, when we go to the market, we are looking for that car. Yesterday, a lady WhatsApped me, and I don't remember her name. And she told me she wanted to buy a Toyota IST, but her budget was 10 million. I told her point blank, you can't get an IST at 10 million. You'll get an IST at 15 million and above. And she told me, okay, can I get an IST? And I pay my 10 million and I get a balance. And I told her, you will get someone to give you on credit, but they'll only give you maximum 3 months, which I find that 3 months is too little for someone to raise 5 million. But if you can get the 5 million in like 3 months, we can go get a bond, check for ISTs. If we get one that we like, you pay the 10 million, they demand you the balance. And I think she wasn't comfortable with that, the 3 months. She said, what other car can I get with my budget? And I asked her, what options did you have in mind? And she said, there's a time I wanted a RAV4. Okay? But I was discouraged because RAV4s are stolen so many times. And the last time I checked, the RAV4 was 14. And I told him, no, you can get a RAV4 cheaper than that. Because we just bought a RAV4 at 9 million. You can get a RAV4 cheaper than that. And RAV4s and ISTs, the ISTs has a higher chance of being stolen than a RAV4. because the iced tea is a hotter cake than a RAV4. You get. And then she told me, okay, but I'll buy in February. How much can I buy? And I told her, prices change every month. Now I can tell you will get a RAV4 at 10 million. Ate tutuke in February nga zirinnye bulinnyi oba nga zisse. So let's wait for February when you are ready to buy a car, and then we look at the market prices. Guys, I always work in your best interest. Do you know why? Because if I help Daniel get a good car today, next month, if he knows someone that is looking for a car, he'll definitely tell them, go to this guy. And like that, I'll create a network of people that know that, okay, this guy is good. A year from now, 2 years from now, when Toyota says, we are looking for someone that probably someone is walking through the corridors of Toyota, or probably is part of the committee that is selecting someone to start doing their reviews for cars, so that they get because they're trying to penetrate the population. Bagezako okuva okutunda organization izoka. They want to sell to even people like me. They are Toyota cars. So for them to want to penetrate the market, they'll definitely want people that can help them penetrate that market. And probably Martha, who bought a car from me, has a job in Toyota in the marketing department, and he hears them, oh, I know someone. For me, that's why the city broker, guys. That's why I tell you, if you have your options of cars, call me to come and check those options. If you find a good car, now we know Jisima, and you believe that's a good deal, okay? Or when a bad deal, you're comfortable with your bad deal. We will select a good car out of those deals. You buy a car and we go away. So that we keep the friendship. Ndimo friendships, guys. So please trust me. Okay? Genda no ya keberere. I think the mistake most people do is they think I'm a broker. I don't know where these cars are. Actually, when this person, the one that bought the RAV4, was asking me, do you have a WhatsApp group? And I told him, no, I'm not in any WhatsApp group of brokers. I'm not a broker. I don't have a WhatsApp group. I am on YouTube strictly. You will find that I have a Facebook page, but I rarely even post these things there. Because even Facebook is full of buffering. You get it? Even Facebook is full of buffering. So yesterday, one of the reasons why my day was hectic is, thank you, Martha. One of the reasons why my day was hectic was because of those people. Because how can someone tell you, bagenda kuteramu engine ya China? How can someone tell you bagenda kuteramu engine ya China? Let me tell you guys how these replacement engines are bought. Replacement engines for cars, someone goes to Dubai or Japan, a motoka is a good accident, for example. Over cars that have been salvaged, zebatemamu. Oli naguramu engine, nagameno engine, egena mu RAV4, egena mu Ipsam, egena mu Chibina, egena mu Mujinguze. They sell the engine with all the paperwork. Okitegeera. Yena akwata engine eyo n'agireta Uganda. Oba let's say engine, like 10 engines, they put the engines there. Katimi Arthur, who is like, I'm going to buy a new engine for my car. And I was telling him the same thing. I'm also going to change the engine of my car because I want my car to be renewed. I want it. My engine can go even to Gulu 10 times. But I want a new engine because I'll have peace of mind. Because I want even my sons to drive this car. Campus. Which they have to drive manual. You get, Martha, your heart skips with the Ipsam. Yeah. So the engines, they bring them to Uganda. Now, Arthur, who wants to change the engine, goes to them and tells them, you guys, I want to change my engine. Which engine do you have here? They'll show them the options. And the deal is, if I put that engine in my car and it doesn't work well, I put it out and you give me another engine. You get? That's how it works. There is no fake engine. Ezidia engine is the Tusamu Morokamuno. The Japan. Hi, Baros. We put Japan engines, Japan used. You'll find that sometimes you buy an engine that was in a car for 2 days. Probably the car got an accident after 2 days from Toyota. Or probably Toyota just salvaged it. You get a new engine. No jitekamu. You're renewing your car. So guys, please trust me. What was the Arthur kuyambe kufune moroka? You can come with a person. Either come with a person that's going to be your guardian angel as well as me. For them, they call it Taiwan. Yeah, but we don't have Taiwan engines. They don't exist to reach. You get it? You know, these engines are as a pitchy. Motorcycles, Bajajes have those Taiwan or China engines and the original engines. And I think that's why my buyer's brother was telling him, Bajakute fake engine. And then my buyer kept saying, oh, Mani Arthur, may I have a problem with that engine changing thing. I don't want to remove the original engine. You get it? Can you overhaul that engine? And we were telling him overhauling doesn't make sense because we did the math and overhauling the engine will cost you around 1.8. But buying a new engine is 2 million, and that new engine is everything is fresh. You'll even keep your old engine if you want. Keep it at home and just put this new engine. Wachitegera chengamba. Guys. And you know, because people have paid you money, sometimes I was almost forced to go with him to buy a RAV4 at 16 million. That I know the value is not 16 million. But because sometimes the client is bent on buying this particular thing because they have told him, then you, guys, I'm always serving your best interest if you come to me to buy a car. That's why I check all these things that you don't know. For example, with the logbook, I'm the only person that checked to see whose names this car is in. Okay? And I saw that this car was in the names of a company, a bond. And I told my buyer, this car is in the name of a bond. Before we buy it, we have to go to the bond to make sure that this lady doesn't have a balance there. But then we get to the bond and his brother is telling him, you're buying a car that is stolen. How come they have not transferred? These guys didn't even know the transfer process. But all of a sudden, because I've talked about it, they are telling him, the transfer can't be done in one day. You get the transfer forms, it shows this person has done it. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to go to this bond, pay this man this money, and he has yataddemu akasente ke ng'omu Pakistan kanaali ako. But it's okay as long as you get the car transferred to your names. So guys, I think I'm going to do a video specifically on how the transfer process for cars works currently, because in the old days the logbook used to be that green logbook. My car is in my names, but I don't even have the logbook for it. It's in my UR18 system. Good morning, Victor. Long time. It's in my URA system. So I don't even have a printout of my logbook. But if you checked, the car is in my names. You check as if you're buying third party on Airtel Money. It will bring the name of the person who owns that car legally. That's what I checked with that RAV4, and I saw. And I told him we are not paying for this car until we see the person who is transferring for us. So guys, the broadcast today, I need you guys to trust me. But if you come to Arthur to help you select a car, I want your heart to be at peace. Your heart should be at peace. If you have any concern, talk to me. Don't talk to my mechanic. Okay? Don't talk to my mechanic. I think that's one other mistake you can make. My mechanic is not working for you. He's working for me. I told you I have 6 mechanics in Uganda. Okay, those are the ones I use now. But I have more than 6, by the way. In Kampala Central Business District, I have 3 mechanics. I always choose the best for that position. If you're going to buy Mercedes-Benz, I have a mechanic for Mercedes-Benz. Volkswagen. If you're bent on buying a Volkswagen, I have a mechanic for Volkswagen. Okay? If you want to buy a Land Rover, I have a mechanic for Land Rover. Okay? The transfer form over the transfer process. Because the transfer forms, you can get it in that very day. You can get the transfer forms. But if you want to do it yourself, you tell that person, they get the transfer forms for you, they give you their national ID, they sign on it. Okay? You get the papers, add your national ID and TIN number, you go to URA. First, you go to the bank and pay. I think you pay 85,000. And then you go to, you take the process. Normally takes, no, but nobody takes 1 week. Normally it takes 1 week. Like for the person we helped buy a fielder, the moment we got the transfer forms that day, in like 3 days the car was in his names. Which tegeera. Munange, at least we have someone that has transferred the car. Joshua is saying it took 3 weeks. Now, Kakati Joshua, let me tell you, I had a buyer yesterday. We even went to the bond where they're going to do that transfer from. Because they didn't have a physical logbook, when he went back home, his brothers were telling him, but tumuguzize motoka enzibe. Okitegeera. And they were telling baguzize motoka enzibe. You should call those guys bakudize sente zo bichi. But the lady has already, and the lady that sold us the car is going back to the same bond today morning to buy another car from that person. So that's why the Pakistani guy was telling him, you come tomorrow in the morning and I transfer the car for you when that lady is here. He told him, well, if you don't come tomorrow morning, the next time you come, I'll tell you to bring that lady here so that I transfer the car when the lady is here. So yesterday I had troubles of lack of trust. And let me tell you guys, there is no person I've sold a car to that is not happy. Abantu bonna bonna abaguze motoka. Their cars, the value is actually, there is a lot of wind. I think it's going to rain again. So their cars are actually appreciating. There is a person I bought a Corsa with. We bought it 5 million. Today he can sell it 7 million. We were finding Corsas worse than his being sold at 6.5. He can sell it 7 million. You get it? There's a person we bought an Ipsum with. We bought it 6 million. Today go to the market. You can't get Ipsum that looks like his in the condition of his Ipsum at 6 million. And you know how much he has spent in repairing the Ipsum, even when we found it packed? He has spent 250,000 in repairing the Ipsum. Mechanical mulali yali agala omubambu amuguza fan emitwalo 18 yajjako. They removed the socket of the fan and he told him your car overheats. So that it overheats and he comes back and buys a fan at 180. A fan which is supposed to cost like 50k. But I told him, no, wait. When my mechanic went there to check the car, it's the socket that had been removed. And the car has not overheated since then. Guys, this is a request. If you can't trust Arthur, don't come to him. Okay? And if you decide to come to Arthur or Jene Makanika, jangune makanika amanyi byakebira bannange. Tojana muntu agenda tumalira budde ngate fe babuuze ebibuuzo. Okitegeera, like the person that, if you're watching this broadcast, my brother, bwe tuba tuzeeyo mu katale okunoonya emmotoka, oyo guy todda naye, funa omuntu amanyi byakola. He came with the guy and the guy was asking us questions, yet he's supposed to be helping his friend inspect a car. And then he was asking, mugugolinge, Google for what? We are buying a car for Ugandan roads, a car that has been on Ugandan roads. Okitegeera. So you can't be telling us for to Googling for a car that has been on Ugandan roads for more than 5 years. Ate to Googling how it's supposed to be. Kati ebintu batu bikebera with common sense, with experience. Okitegeera. Guys, bwoba leeta omuntu okukebera ng'agenda kebera ne Arthur. Okay? Ng'agenda kebera nange leeta omuntu amanyi byakebera. If he's a mechanic, make sure you get a mechanic that knows what he's doing. Because actually bwoba leeta mechanic, nze ngamba wange mmulekeyo nsaving akasente kange. Okitegeera. Because it doesn't make sense for me to pay a mechanic when you're also paying for a mechanic. So if you're bringing a mechanic, tell me so that I don't come with a mechanic. Nze nkimanye nti the mechanical bits are going to be checked by your mechanic. Nze mbeereyo nga guardian angel nkugambe emmotoka bakusedde eyo togula. Okitegeera. If you're going to come with a mechanic, please tell me so that I don't bring my mechanic. It doesn't make sense to have two mechanics. Oyinza oleeta mechanic oli ng'amanyi okusinga owange ng'owange amala budde. Oba n'oleeta mechanic awo ng'owange amusinga ng'owwa amala budde. Kati, instead of wasting people's time, besides, emmotoka gye tugenda okugula si ya millioni 7. Okitegeera. Besides, emmotoka ya millioni 7 teyeetaaga ki kukebera. 70 million you go to Toyota Uganda and get a brand new car. Nga gwatandika okugivuga, everything is new. you're not buying tires, you're not doing service. Actually, in Toyota Uganda, when you go to order, for example, the Starlet that I want to buy, currently it's the Starlet. I know that by the time I get the 70 million, it will be a different car. But currently, the Starlet you buy at 70 million, when you pay for the car, they go to Japan and they make the car for you. You get? So it comes here in 3 months. You can even request an Okara but you get? So when you go to Toyota Uganda with your 70 million, you pay, and then they tell you to mwemieze satu. And then they go to Japan and make your car. Then they bring it. You get? So for me, instead of buying a car from the Bondo, bahari akaundu mu million nkaga, I'm going to collect my car 70 ma, go to Toyota Uganda. Because I trust Toyotas, guys. So I'll go to Toyota Uganda, buy myself a new Toyota, brand new Kavera, nganze njisoso jivuga ku ngudo ze Uganda. Everything will be new and abiramo sesa zibera muka escali automatic. You get? But the title of this video is, guys, trust me. If you decide to work with me, trust me. I'm always serving your best interest. And it's in my best interest that you're happy. Because if you're not happy, YouTube is like social media. Omuntu atali happy, they can come and complain. Abantu ne bamanya nti oyo guy byakola takola ki. But the fact that the people have sold cars to still come and watch my YouTube videos, never ta complaining, should show you guys that I've always been serving your guys your best interest. Why I want to create a network of people that can vouch for me. Ngayibagamba banange tunonyo omuntu anasobola okukola an honest review of a car. You guys will say, Arthur, nze nange ngene nseere bali okitegere million zange nsanze njagala ogulamu emmotoka empya eyakaveera at least nzijje mu abo, because emitwalo 35 gye mumpa tegigula mmotoka yakaveera kubanga njigabana ne makanika njinywako amafuta njinywako. Actually, the guys that have bought cars with me, you realize I can't buy a snack for me and not buy for you. So bompe emitwalo 35 ebintu giryamu byakulya mu mmotoka okitegeera. So mba nsigaza emitwalo 33 mwembako makanika emitwalo 10 nengulako amafuta ga mitwalo 8 nsigaza busente ki ate nga nyina abaana. I have a family. You get? So you guys, you need to trust me. Someone has said, you guys, if you have questions, you post them and we talk about them. Arthur, please do for me a quick general review of a Mark II. Now, you need to understand that I don't know which Mark II you're talking about, but if you're talking about, there is what we call the Mark II Musota. Now, the Mark II Musota has two versions. There is a version that has the original engine, Kagongo, Obaka Jambia. Don't buy. If you're going to buy a Mark II, any kind of Mark II, buy one that has a VVTi engine. It's called Beams 2000. Okay? The Beams 2000 engine is a VVTi engine. It's 2000 cc, but it saves camps. It doesn't consume that much. I drove it for a year. Nzenga nyo mutwalo nenve kasanga ati nenzirayo at 10k. Okitegera tenywa. It's the same engine that is in a Mark II Grand. But the Mark II Grand is definitely much more comfortable. It has better resale value than the Musota. But even the Musota is not a bad car. One thing you need to know about the Mark IIs, Tezifa, first of all, the engine. Omuntu okuta engine ya Mark II abatakola service. Okay? Abatakola service. But if you service that car properly, engine yote inaje eraga. So you make sure if it's an automatic, you make sure the hydraulic oil is there. You make sure the service is on time. Now, one thing you need to know about the Mark IIs, they are rear wheel drive. So this area but there are people that have learned to drive those rear wheel drive cars. You just have to learn, because even Mercedes-Benz is rear wheel drive. Most BMWs are rear wheel drives. Most Subarus are rear wheel drives. Like now Subarus are 4-wheel drives as a singer. But when you learn how to drive a rear wheel drive car, you don't have issues. So, but Mark IIs, they are very comfortable. If it has an issue, normally you need to change the ball joints often. Ball joints and pills take maso. That's the only issue that I realized those Mark IIs have. So you nenga maso, they don't have a lot of things in front for you to repair. So it's a very cheap car to maintain, by the way. Nema begatezina bintu bingi. Whichever it's a rear wheel drive, service it on time, make sure the diff is serviced, make sure the gearbox is serviced, make sure the engine is serviced properly. You will enjoy that car. okitegeera. But make sure you get a good deal because the resale value sinungi nnyo. So it means when you're buying, you need to make sure that you buy in a good range. Tebakuseera, okitegeera. Yeah, that's what the Mark II is, Victor. But you buy the Mark II. Nange njagala kuddamu kugivugamu. I actually want to buy Mark X as well. Those cars are too comfortable. Ate tezinywa nga abantu bwe batugamba. Okitegeera. But I want to buy a Mark II Grande. Njivugemu ne bwe nagivugamu nja gisuubula. Then njiguze mmwe. Nja gyesuubulira njivugemu ko omwezi nga gumu. Then njibasuubuze. Okitegeera. Yeah, so if any of the people that came to buy cars with me yesterday are watching, my message is you need to try and trust someone. Mu bulamu, we have all been backstabbed. We have all been betrayed. We have all been cheated. But sometimes you need to trust someone. Trust someone. You can't be there nga buli omu tomwesiga. And you know the fact that you come with someone else gomanyi nti ategeera eby'emmotoka nga ate omutaddeko ne atakitegeeza n'oyo naye tomwesiga. So it means you don't trust anyone. And it's a very bad thing. You need to trust someone. Always. Okitegeera nganze bwe ngamba nti I'm going to check a car, let me go with this mechanic. Oyo gwe neesiga. Baros, I don't know anyone, but I'm sure at 17 to 20 million you can get a very good Ractis. Because Ractis ziri mu million 24 So at 20 million you should be getting a very good deal. Nga ne namba nnungi. Arthur, can I get the other model of Ipsum at around 7 million? Yes, you can. Ipsum Picnic. I don't recommend the Picnic. Because one thing you need to know about the Ipsum Picnic is 2400 cc. Obanga avuga Harrier Kawundo. And people that have driven Harrier Kawundo complain about the fuel consumption. Why are you driving an Ipsum enywanga Kawundo? Instead, rush to kwata million is almost samvu. No gura buguzi Harrier, the old model. Because you can get the Harrier old model 3000 cc at around 7 million. Ochitegeera. But that's my opinion. No inzo kuba inensonga why you want that Ipsum. And you need to know the Ipsum Picnic shock of wefa. Tosobola kujivuga. It's complicated. Nenga, it's 2400 cc, but it's VVTI. So inzo kuba enywamu katonotonoko. But you just understand if someone is driving a Harrier Kawundo 2.4 cc nga is complaining about the fuel consumption, kati ongamba anti Ipsum, which was made earlier than the Harrier Kawundo, has a better 2400 cc on fuel. So, but me, I know I don't recommend people to buy the Picnic, but if you want to buy at 7 million, you can get it. Osobola ogifuna, but Ipsum Picnic eyo ogenda giguzaani gwe ng'ogikooye. Ogenda giguzaani. That's one thing you also have to think about. Yeah, but the Ract is 17 to 20 million. Ojja kufuna emmoloka nga nnungi. Emmoloka ejja kuba nnungi because 20 million is a very good budget. Okitegeera, 20 million is good money. Actually, if you have 20 million, me, I would actually recommend genda mu bondi obaweeko million aga 2 bakubanja ofune emmoloka gye weetandikidde. Okitegeera, yeah, I will definitely if I find one. But Steve Barros, lwaki togenda mu bondi nosasula keza million 2 nofune emmoloka gy'otandise. But that's my opinion though. If I had 20 million, I would not buy a used car. I would go to the bond and buy myself a car. And also, Barros, this is the other thing I wanted to share with you guys. If you have 20 million and you can wait, lwaki togenda mu be forward and you try to get a good deal to import your own car, you might find that you save money. Nti emmoloka gye bali wadde baguza like 25 million in the bond, you end up bringing it here for 20, 21 or 22. At be forward, you don't pay all the money at once. Yes, I did. Fielder and Ractis are totally different cars. A Fielder is a hot cake. You can't compare Fielder to Ractis. Ractis kamotoka katono nnyo tekaina na demand eri awo. Okitegeera. So Fielder right now, the Fielder we bought that person for 23 million ya million 35 etandikirwako mu bondi. Okitegeera. The Fielder is 35 million. That's why you can get a used Fielder at 23 million and it is a good deal. Because I talked to all the bond guys that I know, all the Indians that I know, and they were selling that particular Fielder at 35 million and above. So, and 35 was a good deal. So that's why I told him, if you have 23 million, you can, as long as it's a good field, a good number plate, in good health, ojigula. But practice, eyinza obeera million nga 26 mu bondi. Okitegeera. So there is no reason why you buy a used practice at 20 million nga ate osobola ogenda mu bondi ne bw'oba omukaga togulina ne bakubanja. Basobola n'okukubanja omwaka mulamba, I think, bw'oba ogenze mu bondi z'abayindi. Okitegeera. But just n'omuntu wakubanja omwaka mulamba kitegeeza emmotoka yiyi yagimalira mu million 2. Okitegeera. So that's why I'm saying that, Barros, if you can go to Be Forward and try to talk to them already. The reason why I'm not interviewing those guys is because those are the people I'm targeting. Because then I'll have a good network of you people and your friends and your sisters and your cousins. So those people will want that network of people, and they'll have to give me a lot of money for me to host them. But I recommend them because I know I'm working in your best interest. Yes, Barros, it will not be a good deal for you to buy a used car 20 million. I want to know Harrier old model fuel consumption and maintenance and Toyota Hilux double cabin fuel consumption and maintenance. Compare them to issues. I know Hilux is expensive, 20 million. If you're comparing Harrier Kaunda and a Hilux, it depends what you're going to be using the car for. Hilux, Hilux togenda jifunanga, it has AC. That's the first thing. Ila Hilux ya 20 million egenda kuba nkadde. That's one thing you need to know. But compared, when you compare value, Hilux ya 20 million ne Harrier ya 20 million, Hilux ya 20 million eba better with value. Otuso kutunda resale value. The Hilux has better resale value. Okitegeera. The Hilux has a 20 million. The Hilux is 2,800 cc. I think between 2,000 and 2,800 cc. It's diesel. If you get a Hilux in very good condition, you won't even bother thinking about maintenance. Why? The Hilux maintains itself. The only expensive thing on the Hilux are their tires. Hilux teina chochegenda kufa kyamaanyi kyogenda kukanika. Okitegeera. Yo yekola yokka. Because you go to the village, you can't leave Chaco. You can't leave this. You can't leave that. Okitegeera. It maintains its own self. So yesigenda na jogera ko maintenance wise. It's very easy to maintain. Now, the Harrier old model, in 2 versions. It has a 2.2cc and then a 3.0cc. The 3.0cc drinks fuel like it was sent to drink it. For those guys, for people that have kids, have you told the child to drink water? And you tell them, if you drink a lot of water, we are going to buy ice cream? Yeah? That's how the 3000cc Harrier drinks fuel. So that one I don't recommend. It's normally even very cheap. The 2.2cc Harrier is fairly okay. It's almost like a RAV4. It's extra by 200cc, which is very fair. Now that one you can buy. Because 20 million cannot get you a good Kaundo. So 20 million you buy the 2.2cc Harrier old model and you enjoy yourself. But me, I would recommend any day, if you can get a Hilux in good condition at 20 million, you buy the Hilux. Because 20 million wobozinanga za cash, you can get a Hilux in mwaka, and the model is quite new. It still has its AC, still comfortable with the interior and all that. So for me, comparing the two cars, if you love both, if you can get a Hilux in good condition, genda neri, leave the Harrier. Okitegeera. Let's see. So comparing the two cars at 20 million, I would any day recommend that you buy the Hilux. Yeah, you buy the Hilux. Good morning, Charles. Yeah, Martha is saying it right. If you don't trust anyone, then trust yourself. Exactly. If you don't trust Arthur, you don't trust the mechanic, then go to the bond on your own. At least you will know, you'll be at peace and say, I selected this car myself. Okusinga ogenda n'abantu abagenda conflicting. Okitegeera. But guys, I'm saying it once again because now I have to go. I'm saying it once again, guys. Please trust me. It's in my best interest. Nze nfunamu bw'ogula emmoroka n'osanyuka. Gwe tofuna namu nnyo. Because bw'ogula emmoroka oba oguze emmoroka egenda fuuka ordinary tomorrow. But for me, if I help you buy a car and you get a good deal and you're happy with your car, nze nsinga okufunamu. Yes, Charles, you can get a Town S at 20 million still in good condition. yeah, it will be very good condition. Yeah. So when you get a good car and you're happy, I'm the person that gains most, because you'll recommend your brothers, you'll recommend your cousin, you'll recommend your friends to come and I help them select a car. And probably by the time you recommend them, Jakubas charging at 350. At that time, nyizo kuba charging emitwala atano. Na sobolo kufuna ko kasenta akawirako. Okitegeera, eh? So you guys, it's in my best interest for you to get a good car. It's in my best interest for you to be happy when you get a car. So to saga rujinga wila likident atha agenda kutomeza on any day. I have a platform where people watch, where people read your comments. Okitegeera. So saga rugendo gule moroka ambi then you're complaining wano. Era chovola when you're buying a car, I calculate nemga mene moroka tujiguze, you're going to spend money on this, and that's all. Okitegeera. Because I know njagala kubalira moroka nga it's a better deal than any other deal. The sigura moroka nga it's not a good deal. When I'm buying a car for you, I'm making sure that you save money first of all. Oda ye waka wasn't a budget ya 20 million, you have to go home with at least 2 million in your pocket. Za kuteka maridadi, kugula radio ya mulembe, kugula bichi, and then I also have to make sure that when you sell your car, you'll get money out of it. Okitegeera. So guys, thank you very much for watching this broadcast. Wadde badde ya lamentations. So I'm hoping my person yaze gulu ne tutagula moroka olwokuba yaze n'omuntu amutegeerera nga ate byategeera tabitegeera bulungi. I'm hoping he comes back munonyeze moroka ennungi agende nga musanyufu ng'omutima gwe gukakkanye ate nga nange nzikakkanye. But bw'aba alaba video eno, if you're watching this broadcast, my brother, oyo guy todda naye jangu n'omuntu amanyi byakebera. Oyo guy agenda tumalira obudde. You can imagine omuntu yaze n'omuntu amukebera naye nga ate gwaleese omukebera ate ffe baabuuza ne moroka ekola etya. Okitegeera. Kati yatumalira budde because omulesa akutegeera ate nga naye tategeera. Okitegeera. Not that tategeera mbulamu bwa bulijjo, tategeera byakebera. Okitegeera. You guys, sagala I don't want to seem like I'm dissing anyone, but if you can't trust me to check a car for you, don't come to me. There are plenty of people that have just watched my videos. If you watch all my videos on this channel, I started posting videos in 2020. Watch all those videos. Trust me, you'll get a good car on your own. Ngatoli nange. You will save your 350. Watch all the videos. All the tricks that these brokers used to steal from you, that these bond guys used to steal from you. I put videos there. You can go to even to my website, buykakampala.com. Okay? You can go there and read things. Trust me, you can go and check your car on yourself. By yourself. But if you want to check a car with me, I think someone wanted to buy a Vanguard at 20 million. And I told him a Vanguard at 20 million is going to be old. But if you want me to start making calls for you, take a sentence and you then I start. Nangamba, no, Arthur. The good thing is I walk along your road. Jangu, utogeremo katono, we decide then ogende. For me, nsobola okwogera naawe. I can stop my car no jane twogera munengenda for free. But if you want me to try and find something that you can't find yourself, nkolera sente bachali bange. I have a family. Enyumba yange tennaggwa. Yetaaga material, nchetaga okugula cement, be plastic enyirire. Nsobole nango jibala gambifana. I cannot share how it looks now because tennaggwa. Okitegeera. Bwinabe wedde then probably I can tell you nemoroka enyumba ewedde okuzima enyumba weti wetaga sente bwezi because nze mpandiika buli kimu. Okitegeera. Athens and Kwesiga, the people I share with, car information I've acquired from here, they found that all things I've told them to be true and now are turning to me for every car information. I'm glad, Wilbur. I'm glad. Era bagambe, nzetewetaga kujja kumpa sente. If you watch the videos here, you can go and buy a car on your own. Ngatoli nange. Okitegeera. Guys, I have to go. Thank you very much. It really means a lot that you watch my videos. Kiruma nnyo omuntu n'okola content abantu ne batamulaba. Because there are guys abakola content ate abantu ne batamulaba. But the fact that I can get 16, 20 people watching this video live, abamu nga bali nga data wa bei naye nga yeewaayo n'amugula, it really means a lot and I appreciate it. I don't take anything for granted. For the guys that recommend me for business, thank you very much. Nga osobola okulaba nti ono omuntu ayagala kugula moroka n'omugamba nedda, gende wa Arthur akuyambeko okukebera moroka. Thank you very much. For the guys that recommend tracking devices, guys, abatamanyi, I sell tracking devices. Moroka yeyo gyogula, it's an asset. lwe baligibba lw'olimanya nti tracking device is needed. Tracking devices zange za mitwalo 3 mu emeka. It gives you live location for your car. You can stop the engine using your phone. Okay, you can track the car in real time nti etambula yiye egenda wano n'ogigoberera. Guys, if you have never spent money trying to find a car that has been stolen, you cannot know. Yesterday the tracking device ginatadde mu mmoroka, omwami oyo yangambye baali bamubbyeko emmoroka. Okitegeera, baali bamubbyeko emmoroka, and he knows the kind of trouble he went through, the money he spent to get his car back. Yamala weeks 3 ng'akyanoonya mmoroka. 350 Joshua, not 300. 350 plus installation, yes. Yangambye sente ze spending n'obudde bwe yamala ne trouble gye yayitamu, the emotional distress in trying to find a car. Yagambye tayagala kubiddamu. That's why he put a tracking device in his car. He has 2 cars zonna naziteekamu tracking devices. Okitegeera. So bw'ogula emmoroka, don't take it for granted. Emmoroka eyo bajja gikubbako nga tolina bw'ogifuna. But if you have a tracker, emmoroka yo bw'ogisanga teriiwo wagitadde, just go to your tracker. Okilikinge app, onoonye emmoroka yo gambe yiino wano, ofune owa police n'owa boda mugobe emmoroka, mugikwate. Mujja gikwatanga n'agibbya akyagirimu. Okitegeera. 350,000 ng'ofuna tracker ne alamu nzitunda, because bw'oba oyina emmoroka nga bagibbako nnyo ebintu. Alamu ngisako ate alamu yange ekuba kerere kamba kubiremu mugigulire. Alamu y'emmoroka gye nkuteeramu. Nkuteeramu alamu ng'ekuba kerere, ng'omubbi bw'ajja n'akwatako bw'ati kerere gwekuba obukubi tasigalawo. Guys, thank you very much for giving me business. Aba recommending amwebale nnyo. But again, bambi tondi commendingira muntu atagenda kunneesiga. Ate bw'aba tagenda kunneesiga agenda kujja ne makanika mugamba ngambe, so that's it makanika wange. Me, I don't want to have two mechanics like colliding. Okitegeera. Njagala tubeere ne makanika ogu atugambe kino kifu, kino kiramu, kino kifu, kino kiramu. And me, I trust my mechanic. Okitegeera. Oyo guy yadamanyi bya pichi. But guys, I have to go. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch my live. It really means a lot. I don't take it for granted. Don't forget to tell people about the tracking devices. N'abatawanyizibwa marketing, I'm a marketing professional. Nkuyambako to streamline your marketing, ofune ba customer bali unending basigala bajja. Yes, thank you very much.